say after a week or after 2 weeks, I want the customers to retain you, to remain with me. Okay? What I mean that I'm selling a milk today, tomorrow I may plan to sell the ice cream, so I want the people to eat my ice cream also. Okay? So I'm just not looking for a customer to stay with me over a 1 year, but over a 5 year, over a 10 year. Okay? When they are a customer as a child, when they are a customer as an adult, when they are a customer as a grown up. Okay? Right? We call it as a cross-selling opportunities. Right? So there our intent moves towards the CRM, customer relationship management. Let's invest in the customer relationship. Okay? Right? Be with them at the time when their birthday comes or when they are entering into their job field. Right? So you ensure that you are there, you are taking care of their different needs. Right? So the intent is moving towards long term. Then we come down to the partnerships. Of course, if I just talk about in the context of we as a consumer, right? We may not think of a partnership, but if we talk about business customers, okay? If you talk about the business customers, so there the partnerships makes more sense. There you become ready, you get inclined to invest your resources in those areas where you have a common interest. Then let's grow together. Okay? Let's grow together. So companies, they start looking for their partners. Right? So this is an evolved form of a relationship. Okay? Where all interested parties, they put together there. So they share the information and promote the aggressively long-term growth policies. Okay, so what IBM is doing now? They have actually looked for their partners. They have some business problem. Okay, IBM says, I have a software, I have a knowledge, I have a skill. Use my skill, use my knowledge and grow with that. Okay, they customize their techniques, their skills to provide the solution. This is what the Kodak is now trying to do, the imaging solution. Because every business customer have their own specific needs. So photocopying is a very basic requirement. Okay, right? But the company who is doing a mapping work, their photocopying needs are very different. So whatever the photocopying solutions are available, they are not giving a good pictures. They are not reproducing in the same way. That clarity is not coming. So maybe they have a different requirement. So Kodak may say that at one day, look, you want a big graph, very fine details, you want to have an imaging, and there is the technology that I can provide those solutions. Okay, so let's put together, tell me your problem, and I'll develop a solution for you. Right? This is what we say, the partnership. Then the strategic alliances. Again, I can say the step ahead of the partnership. Not just, we can say that we are combining certain resources, but those resources we are combining on a long-term basis. Okay, right? And the strategic alliances, they could be a multiple alliances. Okay, that are for a certain functional areas, the companies with the business customers, they align. Okay, on a long-term basis. So they share the organizations, they come out with a separate organization structures. In the partnership, your structures, we are partnering and taking your input and developing a solution for you. But in the strategic alliance, we may develop a different set of organization where both of us will pull together and then we search out the solution. This is what we talk about the strategic alliance. Joint ventures, again, in an extended form of a strategic alliance, separate company, separate entity comes up. Networks, very advanced form of a joint ventures and strategic alliances. Multiple strategic alliances, when they come up, they take a form of a network. So build around the strategic partnership. Okay. So the question comes in this chain scenario. Okay, where we are looking around that the transactional relationships are changing. Okay, right? The way we are transacting with our final consumers. Do I need to stop? The way we need to transact with our final consumers, or the way we are transacting with our business customers, right? So we are responding through different structures, right? We call it as evolved organizations, right? So the changing customer needs. You see that, just a very small example I can give you. As a customer, now you want that all of you use your mobile phones. Okay? And I remember that at the time when the mobile phone was introduced in our country, there was only there was charges both for outgoing and incoming. Okay? Gradually it has changed. Then there was a text messaging, right? Now they say that why text messaging? You use a WhatsApp. No, you don't want to spend. You don't want to spend on your SMS, right? Because now you have multiple needs on your pocket, right? And you need to communicate with so many people, right? So why to use a text message? Why to spend? Okay. So somebody else came up with with this software of WhatsApp. Okay. So without spending, so as a customer you are involved, right? And it is you who is changing, that is compelling all those changes to take place, right? Okay, so the organizations should respond to those changing needs and to stay relevant, okay, to the change scenario. Organizations are responding in a way which I just talked about, through alliances, through partnerships, through networkings, right? So they are trying to find out the better and better places for them. So the point is that what is happening within the organization, okay? Because the way I have to respond to the customer needs, I must be tuned accordingly, right? Okay? I can reach out to you only when I am prepared for that, right? So if I have to go for a partnership, so somewhere in my thought processes, somewhere in my strategies, I must be ready to go for a partnership, I must be ready to go for a strategic alliance, right? So within the organization, the functional boundaries, they have become less distinct. Okay? Earlier it used to happen that the production people used to think about production only, HR people used to think about HR only, finance people know that, okay, these are the finances, I'm going to think in that way only, right? Nothing doing what the production people want, nothing doing what the HR people want. But now, as I said that, from those pyramid structures, we are going to the honeycomb structures. So no longer we can stay with those boundaries. Okay? Right? So within organization, so these boundaries are going out. And marketing, therefore marketing as a distinct management function, it has disciplines. So if you just open the Kunz O'Donnell management book, okay, say 20 years back book, it used to say the management means all those structures. Okay, production function, we have a HR function, right? We have your finance function, they are headed by production head, marketing head, finance head, HR head, right? Now you just pick up latest books, or you just check up the organization structures of organization of today's time. You will find that these nomenclatures are no longer there. Okay? We have no person, we say that a marketing head. Okay? We say the business head. Okay? Or we say the team leader. Right? In the team, I have a production person, HR person, we have a marketing person and all that. Right? So this is the we can say the internal response. Okay? That these boundaries, they have disappeared. Not only the boundaries have disappeared with regard to the relationship with the external environment, but within the organization also. Okay? These boundaries has disappeared. So basically your structures, internal structures, they are moving towards more flexibility. And this is how the changes. This is how the changes. The strategy, earlier used to be, the strategy used to be the part of only the top management, board of directors, line and staff structures. The one who is the top is meant for forming the strategies. Okay, right? They meant to form the corporate strategies. But now that the strategy has changed, this entire process has changed. We have a strategy at the corporate level, at the strategic business unit level, and at the functional level. Okay, at the corporate level, strategy is for the mission. Okay, your goals. At the business strategic business unit, which segment, which market I have to reach out to. And at the functional level, I say, okay, let's see what is going to be product, what is going to be the price. So, and the marketing gels or marketing remains within each and every level of the strategy. What I'm going to have as my business purpose, let's see what the environment requires. where there is a change in the market. The digital has come. See, Kodak was the first company who came up with the digital cameras in 90s. Okay, but their top management was so rigid. They said no. We have our cash cow, our film cameras. What is the need to have the digital cameras? Okay, right? So they didn't go for a change. There was no strategic business unit. There was no functional strategy was there. There was only the corporate strategy, and that led them to failure. Right? So in the change scenario, marketing has a role to play at each and every level of the strategy. And in fact, as we move down from the corporate to the functional, we move towards more an implementation of the strategies. Okay? Then marketing has a three-dimensional. It is as a culture, we understand as a strategy, and we understand it as a technique. Okay? So as we move from top to bottom, we move from a culture to the technical. It is the top management when they set the mission, they have to build that marketing culture within the organization. Okay? Right? What I mean by marketing culture? Basically, marketing says sensing others' need. Okay? This is what the marketing is. Adapt your work, your we can say competencies according to what your market requires. That market may be your final market, your customer market, even your employees are your markets, your suppliers are your market, your distributors are your markets. Okay? Right? So the basic principles of marketing give you that much of, I can say, the skill, or give you that much of thought processes that you become adaptive. Okay? You bring the outside in view in your strategies. Okay? So no matter in which market I am moving. Okay? So this is what the change. This is what the change in the marketing, as we are changing, we are evolving in the organization structures. Okay, so marketing has moved towards relationship marketing, not from a transactional marketing. It's no longer in practice as a transactional marketing. It is in practice as a relationship marketing. We say that the firms are going to the market through multiple partnerships, as I said earlier. Expand their view on marketing and make it sensitive to the multiple levels of strategy within the organization. Because now you are believing in partnership, you are believing in networks, you are believing in strategic alliances. Alright, so you are going to the market not in a buyer-seller relationship. You are going in the market with the long-term relationship perspective. Right? So what we practice, not a transactional marketing, but we move towards practicing of a relationship marketing. Okay? This is a one part. Okay? Marketing doesn't stop here. This was one part of our marketing which we practice in the context of our business markets. There's another part also where the marketing is practiced in the areas which are non-business areas. Okay? All the marketing thoughts, marketing processes, marketing principles, they can very well be applied to the areas which are not business areas. And that has become possible the moment the Kotler has broadened the definition of profit, the product and the markets. Okay? The definition, if you just check out the Kotler book, 70s, 80s and then the later books of 90s and 2000, the word profit, they say no. They say, the definition says satisfying mutual goals. Okay? Right? The product says anything. It could be goods, people, services, ideas, organization. Right? So that means marketing can be practiced not just for your tangible goods. It can be practiced for intangible services. It can be practiced with regard to your people. So nowadays another field of studies coming up very far, that is political marketing. Across the world we can see that political parties, they are successfully using the marketing techniques. Okay, I can give you the example of the last election which Obama has won. If you just read that story of how Obama could manage the winning of the election, of course he has the other credibilities also. But the way he has gone to his voter, he has applied the marketing principles. The way that Thatcher was able to retain her ruling for such a long time, in the case of applying the principles of going for a political marketing. Okay, so that means we have gone beyond. Marketing allows to go beyond the markets. Okay, to be successful in the non-business areas also, right? And similarly, we talk about the CRA, the another social organization which could make itself survive only because they have adapted some of the marketing principle. So it is in practice as a social marketing, as a cause-related marketing, as an environmental marketing, as a not-for-profit marketing. These terms you must have read about. Okay, so these are the we can say the other non-market applications of marketing principles. So we say that we are practicing marketing in two different spheres: in the context of the markets and in the context of the society. Practicing this way, basically we are moving in a silo fashion. Okay? So, Bajaj was polluting the environment for years, giving the Bajaj scooter, Hamara Bajaj. Okay? And nobody thought about what is Hamara in it, whether the pollution is Hamara or the scooter is Hamara. Okay? Right? But it was only after the liberalization, when the competition came, the market was opened, and that Bajaj had to realize that no longer it is possible that, okay, you are giving a scooter, you are giving a commuting convenience to the people, but at the same time doing a lot of harm to the society. For years, the Bills have been sponsoring our cricket matches. Okay, right? But what they have been doing? Making the people to smoke. Right? So everything was banned. Right? So you reach out to the market because the market wants to smoke. Okay? Right? And it has its own reasons also. Okay? But at the same time, then you are doing some philanthropy, you are aligning yourself with some particular cause, and you are saying that I am doing the things in a very sensible way. But this thing has been rejected now. Okay? No longer we can expect the things to happen in a silo fashion. What we actually look for, the linkage. The linkage between the market and the society. Okay? So when the Maruti is manufacturing the cars, they are rolling the cars like they were rolling the bicycles, the hero people. Okay? Then they started planting the trees. Okay? Right? Good. See, I am polluting, I am giving you more cars, giving the reasons to pollute more, but at the same time I am planting more trees.